Hey everyone, welcome back. Today's explainer is a tough one, but honestly, it's so incredibly necessary. We're diving into a story called How I Realized His Comments Were Not Just Comments. You know that very specific, quiet devastation when your partner publicly praises another woman online? Yeah, that. We're talking about the guys who leave the heart eyes, the fire emojis under selfies, and then turn around and say, "Babe, chill, it's harmless." We're going to break down exactly why they do it, the brutal emotional reality of how it makes us feel, and most importantly, what to do about it. So let's just get right into it.
Look at this realization right here. It was not just a like, it was the fact that he knew it would hurt me and did it anyway. Oof, right? I mean, when we bring this stuff up, we're almost always told we're overreacting, but we are going to unpack why it is absolutely not an overreaction. It is a profound betrayal of trust. Because see, the pain doesn't come from his thumb physically double-tapping a screen. It comes from the active, careless choice to do something he knows causes his partner pain, and doing it anyway.
So moving into part one, it is never just harmless. Let's talk about the public disrespect of a double tap.
A guy might brush off a comment as, "Oh, it's no big deal, right?" But to us, it feels like a public slap in the face. There's just massive cognitive dissonance happening here. He's out there habitually acting single online, tossing out subliminal bait, liking the bikini pics, leaving comments to stroke his own ego, but then he expects his partner to feel completely secure and trusting offline. Well, sorry, but those two realities simply cannot coexist. When a man acts single online, he literally cannot expect his woman to feel secure offline. You just can't build real-world security with digital disrespect.
And imagine the absolute pain behind this next point. He had compliments for strangers online, but I had to beg to feel noticed at home. Let that sink in. His attention, his validation, his compliments, they're just handed out freely to absolute strangers on the internet. Meanwhile, the woman he actually committed to is sitting right next to him, feeling ignored, inadequate, and completely unchosen.
Because at the core of all of this, it is public disrespect. The fact that it happens in a public forum, where his friends, his family, and total strangers can see his name popping up under some other woman's photo, it embarrasses his partner. It forces her to compare herself to these curated, heavily filtered images, and ultimately, it makes her feel fundamentally unsafe in her own relationship.
Okay, let's get into part two. What is the real reason he looks? We're talking ego, fantasy, and just a total lack of discipline.
So why on earth do they do it, even when they know it hurts us? Well, here's the harsh truth. It is rarely, if ever, about you lacking anything. It's about him. Men do this to live out a visual fantasy, or they're just desperately seeking constant ego validation. Sometimes, honestly, it's sheer boredom. Just habitual, mindless scrolling. But you know what else it shows? A profound lack of discipline and home training. It's a low-value behavior where a man is simply failing to conduct himself properly in a public space. He basically just wants to appear single online.
And that brings us to the painful reality of what we call the placeholder dynamic. A man who is genuinely content, who truly values and cherishes his partner, he's not going to compulsively seek the attention of other women online. If he's constantly scrolling, liking, and commenting, he's treating his committed relationship like an option, like a placeholder, while he seeks his real validation somewhere else.
Which leads us to part three, the slow break of trust. Let's trace how this goes from just one like to full-blown emotional neglect.
You see, these seemingly small, isolated actions, they compound over time. They slowly erode the foundation of the relationship. The problem was not one emoji. The problem was the pattern. The true damage comes from the repetition. It's the active, selfish choice to keep doing it after you've clearly communicated your boundaries. That pattern is what shatters trust, and honestly, it immediately kills a woman's attraction to him.
Let's actually map this out. Day one, the wandering eye starts on social media. By month one, emotional neglect sets in because his energy is literally being directed outside the relationship. Fast forward to month six, and we're seeing a deep, deep erosion of trust. You know the feeling? You're obsessively checking his following list, wondering who he's looking at now. And by year one, the relationship has completely lost its sense of safety.
Trust erodes like water on stone. It's a slow drip, but the damage is permanent. Just picture it. You're sitting there alone, staring at your phone, agonizing over the girls he follows. And you're wondering, am I crazy? Am I overreacting? No. You're reacting to the slow, agonizing breakdown of your own security.
All right, part 4, the insecurity gaslighting trap.
This is what happens when he turns it around and blames you for his actions.
Now, this is probably the most manipulative part of the whole dynamic. When you finally speak up, what's his defense? Usually it's something like, "You are just being insecure and jealous. Calm down, it's just Instagram." But let's look at the objective reality here. You are reacting to blatant disrespect. Feeling hurt because your partner is giving public attention to other women? That is actually a sign of self-respect. It means you value the sanctity of what you two have built. Demanding basic respect is absolutely not a sign of low self-esteem.
Let's crack open the defense playbook for a second. When confronted, he'll deny it, or he'll totally minimize what he did. He acts annoyed, maybe rolls his eyes, right? He compares you to his past chill girlfriends who, supposedly never cared about this stuff. He calls your totally valid boundaries controlling. And the absolute worst part? He keeps lying straight to your face even when you are showing him the literal proof on his own phone. That deceit, the gaslighting, I swear, that usually hurts way worse than the initial likes ever did. Which brings us to our final section, Part 5, How to Set Firm Boundaries. It's time to talk about reclaiming your power and your peace. So, what exactly are we supposed to do? How do you realistically handle this without just giving up all your power? Okay, step 1, do not beg, do not cry, and try not to get overly emotional. I know it's hard, but that just gives away your control. Step 2, state your boundary clearly, shortly, and calmly. Tell him, "This makes me uncomfortable, and it is unacceptable." Step 3, step back. Literally leave the room. Go hang out with your friends. Give him space. And step 4, watch his actions closely. Stop nagging him, stop fighting in those endless, exhausting circles, and just quietly observe what he does next.
Because the most powerful takeaway here is this. Stop normalizing what is objectively wrong and disrespectful. You do not have to play the cool girl. You don't have to quietly sit there and tolerate being treated like a side chick in your own committed relationship just because society tries to gaslight you into thinking, "Oh, all guys do this."
Once you've set that boundary, let his actions dictate the future. Look, behavioral psychology always points back to this one undeniable truth. If he truly loves you, if he genuinely respects you, and he sees that his actions are causing you pain, he will fix it. He'll correct the behavior himself. He won't need you to police him or track his followers or constantly remind him. He'll just stop.
And here is the ultimate hard-hitting relationship receipt. If he calls your boundary insecurity but keeps doing the thing that hurts you, that tells you everything. Seriously, if you communicate your boundary and he gets defensive and then consciously keeps doing the exact thing he knows hurts you, listen to me. A man's active refusal to respect your boundaries is the only closure and the absolute only answer you will ever need.
To sum it all up, a real relationship requires respect in public and in private. Making the active choice to validate strangers on the internet over maintaining peace and safety at home, that is a massive relationship-ending red flag.
So I want to leave you with this one thought to chew on. If he wants attention from other women more than he wants peace with you, is that really a small issue, or is it everything you need to know? If this story felt real, like and subscribe to Relationship Receipts Stories.